multiply. I have three different problems right here. On this first one, I have a monomial times a monomial. Then the second one, I have a monomial times a binomial. And on this last one, I have a monomial times a trinomial. How do I multiply a monomial times a monomial, binomial, and a trinomial? Chloe is here with her latest cheat sheet notes. She wants you to know that when you are multiplying two powers that have the same base, you're going to add the exponents. And when you're raising a power to a power, you're going to multiply the exponents. Now that we have Chloe's cheat sheet notes, let's go ahead and start multiplying these polynomials together. The first one we have is 4r cubed times negative 6r to the fourth. Now, when we are multiplying two powers that have the same base, Chloe let us know that all we have to do is add the exponents. So if we had 4 squared times 4 cubed, see how they both have the same base of 4? You just go ahead and you add the exponents, 2 plus 3, and you'd get 4 to the fifth. Now, if we were raising a power to a power, that's when we would multiply the exponents. If we had 5 squared cubed, we would take the 2 times 3 and get 6. So on this problem here, we are multiplying r cubed and r to the fourth. Therefore, we are going to add the exponents because they have the same base. So we're going to be adding the exponents, but we also have to deal with the coefficients, 4 and negative 6. Since we're multiplying on this problem, we're going to go ahead and multiply 4 and negative 6 together. And then you'll see here that I have my r3 plus 4. Then you can see that 4 times negative 6 is the same thing as negative 24. And 3 plus 4 is 7. So our final answer for this first one would be negative 24 r to the 7th power. On the second one, we have negative 3v to the 5th times the quantity 4v squared plus 6. Again, we're going to multiply each one of these terms by the negative 3v to the 5th. This is called the distribution property. We're going to take negative 3v5 times 4v squared, and then we will take negative 3v5 times positive 6. So when we do the first one, we'll take those coefficients of negative 3 times 4, and then because we're taking v to the 5th times v squared, since they have the same base of v, we can go ahead and add those exponents together, 5 plus 2. Then on our second one here, we have negative 3v to the 5th times positive 6. So we'll take the coefficients, negative 3 times 6, multiply those by each other. And on this second one here, there's no v term, there's no variable at all. So we just have one v to the 5th, just like what we had here. From here, we're going to go ahead and simplify a little bit more. Negative 3 times 4 is a negative 12. 5 plus 2 is 7. Negative 3 times 6 is a negative 18, v5. So my final answer for this in simplified form is negative 12v to the 7th minus 18v to the 5th. And on our last one down here, we have a monomial times a trinomial. So we have 8m squared times the quantity 2m squared plus 3m plus 5. We are going to go ahead and distribute this 8m squared to each one of these terms by multiplying it. So on our first one, we have 8m squared times 2m squared. So we will go ahead and group the 8 and 2 together and multiply those coefficients. And m squared times m squared. They both have the same base, so we're going to go ahead and add the exponents together. Then we'll have 8m squared times 3m, so we will multiply 8 times 3 together, and then we will take the m squared times m. Now m doesn't have any variables on it. Remember, there's always a variable there. It's always a 1 if you don't see something written there. So I really have m squared times m to the first power. So since they have the same base, we can add those exponents of 2 plus 1. And then on our last one, we have 8m squared times 5. So we're going to multiply 8 times 5, and then we have just 1m squared because this one over here doesn't even have a variable. From here, we can go ahead and simplify. 8 times 2 is 16, and m to the 2 plus 2 reduces to m to the 4th. 8 times 3 is 24, and m to the 2 plus 1 reduces to m cubed. And then our last one, we have 8 times 5, which is 40, m squared. And this would be our last answer for this one.